What's happening, people? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Hope you're all good. Welcome to Blakademik on Live with me, your host Jordan Jarrett Bryan. Hope you're all good. Thank you very much for joining us once again for another Blakademik online. Now, a few things to kind of get into before I tell you about the fantastic chat we're going to be having with our guests in just a few minutes' time. First thing, we're streaming live from YouTube for the very first time. So big up all of our YouTube subscribers. You can get involved and interact with us just like our Instagram followers have been doing for the past few weeks during this lockdown. So welcome to all of our new and old, maybe, YouTube followers joining on the fun as well. These Blakademik Online, so what are they? These are chats that I have, one-to-one chat with someone from the Black community who will, they'll have a certain level of expertise, or they will have a certain level of knowledge around something specific and relevant to the lockdown and what we're going through right now, and obviously COVID-19 as well. So you might have caught, you might have missed some of our previous chats. That's some great chats. We had a chat with an expert around finance and breaking down the furlough system for those that were working. We had a fitness expert on a really kind of cool and manageable ways in which to stay fit during the lockdown. We've had Dane Baptiste on and ways to stay positive and fun things to do with rants and bants as well. So lots of guests we've had on, just trying to hopefully give you guys some value as to things you can extrapolate from these chats during these lockdowns. Now, I'm really glad you all joined us as well. One thing I'm big on is interaction. So please, when we do get to our guests, I'll intro him, he'll join us in just a minute. Any questions, comments, keep them coming. Keep them coming, and I'll do my best to try and get through as many of the questions and comments that you throw to us as possible. But once again, big up all the people who have been joining us so far. I want to ask you guys how you guys are doing. First of all, like, how are you guys? I know a lot of people are struggling during this period. We're going to try and hopefully uplift you guys, but I'm really keen to hear from you guys. So just before we get our guests, and anyone who wants to kind of talk to us a little bit about, hey, Anne, I'm very well. Thank you for asking. I'm very well. I'm very, I'm upbeat, but I'll get to me in just a second. I'm more keen to hear from all of you guys. How have you been doing? Have you managed to kind of find a way to make this lockdown really work for you guys? Have you kind of found a way to kind of formulate a path in this new normal? And if you're struggling and we can help in any way, please, ask me questions from me and my guests coming in just a moment. And we'll do our best to try and hopefully advise you guys and kind of give any bits of wisdom or, uplift your spirit. That's what we're here for. We're here to try and empower you guys and make sure that we can all as one get through this period here as well. I'm so glad we're on YouTube. I'm so gassed. You don't understand how gassed I am right now that we're on YouTube. So big up for yourself, all the newcomers on YouTube as well. Me, quickly, personally, I'm good, I'm good. I'm really good. We're 2 months now in lockdown. And yeah, it's been tough for a lot of people. It's been tough for me, but we just got to try and find a way to use this time. I've been preaching, and I've also preaching. I've been preaching quite a lot to a lot of people that you've got to use this time. I'm really big on, and we discussed it when I had Dane on. I think rants as well. We're very big on use this time to try and work on something that's going to hopefully better yourself, because you won't get an opportunity again, 6-month period or even longer, where you can really work on something to yourself. I'm working on a number of things. But I'm a bit crazy like that. So you just pick on one thing. It could be nutrition. I'm trying to eat better. It could be exercise. It could be something mental and spiritual that you kind of just basically cleanse your system during this period. There's plenty of time for Instagram and Netflix. Trust me, you can still do some goodness in this period. So really, let's work on ourselves and make sure we come out the other end better people. And we use this time to really come out better. Learn an instrument, learn a language, do an online course, reconnect with friends and family. One thing I've been doing is I'm trying to wean myself off of WhatsApp and phone people more. Just check in with people. It hasn't got to be a long convo. Just yo, you good? What's up? Yeah, man, checking in. Boom. Stay well. We'll chat next week. Just a little quick one. Reconnect. For whatever you do something during this time to really maximize this period of time when you have a lot of time by yourself. And I know if you live in a house with many people, that could be difficult. But there's always stuff you can do to try and just day by day work on something to do with yourself. So today, I'm gassed. I'm very, very excited because we're going to have a chat today around a subject that's very, very personal and important to me. It's around the subject of sports. So now, whether you're a sports fan or not, I think you're going to get quite a lot from my chat with my guest. We're going to have a chat around how we can, how we're dealing with no sport. There's been no football now for a little while. There's been no sport now for 2 months. Some sports, depending on the sports, a week or two either side. But generally, there's been no sport now for about 8 weeks. And we know that sports, directly or indirectly, is a really, really big thing within our community, the Black community. You know, many of us love sport, many of us work in sport, and even not a massive sports fan. I'm sure someone in your family or your household will be. So, you'll join us in just a moment. What is the fan on? No, the fan is not on. You know what it might be? My laptop is making up noise, and it could be that. It could be that. Let me move my mic away. Is that any better? Let me know if that's better, so I'll talk directly into the 2 screens. Is that better? Is that better? Is that better? I'm very, very excited. Let me know if it's better or not, and I'll try and adjust it as we go. Very, very excited to welcome to a good friend of mine. He's one of the hardest working people I know within sport, and he's obviously one of the most recognizable faces within football. He's a football fan, but he's built an empire, and he now has one of the best, if not the biggest, YouTube football fans platform in the world. I want to bring in the man like, here he is, Mr. Robbie Lyle. Robbie, are you with us? Are you with us? Are you with us? I think Robbie's incoming now. So there he is. What are you saying, rude boy?
It's cool, man. I just literally finished doing a show.
I saw some of it.
Sorry?
I saw some of it. I caught the start of your show.
Oh, nice one. Yeah, I was doing the News Daily. So we had a Liverpool fan on tonight, Alex from Cop Fan TV. So yeah, it's good, man. It's a lit show.
Wicked, wicked. Right, I want to get into a lot of things with you, Robbie, tonight. I know you're gonna play out a long day, but I'm gonna rinse you out some more here for the last hour or so. Can we get you also on YouTube, Rob? Can we get you to feed into our YouTube channel as well? Do you have the codes?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Is it?
I've never used it. This.
If you just click on the link and then just literally put in that code in your name, my guy who's doing all the magic here.
Where do you put the code in?
It should say name and then literally below that password. Because we've got YouTube people that want to see you as well.
Well, where it says login?
Yeah, either that or password.
This is a new. Where do you find this?
It should say simple. It should say.
Okay,
all right. So while you're doing that, I'm gonna just shout out to
invalid.
the link.
Yeah, it's saying invalid registration key.
All right. I'll tell you what we'll do. I'm gonna get my guy to send you another link or try and send you a next link. And while he's doing that, let's just keep on chatting. I want to get any questions from anybody out there that's got any questions for Robbie. We're going to have a discussion around how Robbie and how our community in general is dealing with no sport, because as I mentioned, sport is a massive part of our culture. But before we get to the sport chat, Robbie, how are you doing? How have you been during this lockdown period on a kind of personal level?
Yeah, I've been okay. I've sort of used it as occasion, as a reason to start trying to get a bit fitter. So I've been walking every day. I've been going on for bike rides. I've been spending time with the family. I've been, I've just been, and obviously working very hard still with AFTV. We do a lot of videos every day. So I've been keeping busy. It's been good. It's not been like. I know a lot of people, unfortunately, they're on furlough and things like that, and they're just stuck at home doing nothing. I've actually been quite busy, so I want football back though. You know what I mean? It's not the same without football.
And you got a family.
It's not the same without football, but.
And you got a family as well. So what you've been doing the homeschooling thing? You've been getting the books out and the Pythagoras and the.
Yeah, homeschooling, and then we've been doing some cool stuff as well. Like we've been training together and things like that. So that's been really nice, Nice. So you mentioned that you are missing football. For those that don't know you, you run, I would say, probably the biggest football fan channel in the world, AFTV, with a platform to give Arsenal fans, first and foremost, a platform and a voice
to talk all things Arsenal, but more generally football as well. You're missing football. How much are you missing Arsenal?
Oh, missing badly, man. Because when the break first came along, you're thinking, well, we ain't been playing that, but anyway, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now you are really missing it. You know what I mean? It's such a big part of what I do. We go to every game, home and away. And even now I was thinking about it today because actually this weekend would have been the end of the season.
Yeah.
So this would have been the last game of the season, and then we'd have had a break, but then we'd be looking at where we'd be going in the summer.
True that.
Because we always follow Arsenal on the summer tours, and last year was brilliant. It was over in America, it was in Vegas, LA. I saw. It was fantastic. Nothing like that can happen now this year. So.
No, I hear that.
It's crazy at the moment. It really is.
And you kind of alluded to it there, but as an Arsenal fan, I mean, I'm a Gunner as well. Do you think that the lockdown and the possible, it's looking less likely, but the possible cancellation of the season is a good thing for Arsenal? Or do you think that, we were kind of getting up a bit of steam and we could have done a little ting?
Yeah, no, we were. We were getting up a bit of steam. Remember, Arsenal were unbeaten in 2020, so we were getting a bit of steam and we was getting a bit of momentum going. Mm-hmm. And I liked what the new manager was doing. So it's a shame that we didn't get to, keep going and see what we could have done.
Yeah.
I mean, we might get a chance to do now because, it might be coming back. But, it's a shame, really, because I really wanted the season to just go through and run through and do its course because I think we could have possibly got into the top 6, maybe 5th place, which could have got a European place, could have got us into the Champions League.
Mm. And I mentioned there that your platform.
You guys sent the link. Let me just put this link.
Oh, I sent you the link. Okay. So any Arsenal, there's enough Arsenal fans coming in now. Read out a few. After supporting Arsenal 22 years, I support Liverpool now for reasons that I can't explain. What kind of movements is that?
You can't do that. You can't switch your team, man.
You can't do that, can you? What do we think of Tottenham? Right, we're going to get to Tottenham a bit later on, so we're going to save that one for later on. So your platform, as I mentioned, is a massive platform that gives fans, not even just Arsenal, but all kind of fans, a voice to talk about Arsenal, but football in general. How surprised have you been over is it 7 years you've been doing it now? How surprised have you been over the growth of your platform on YouTube and all the other platforms as well? How surprised have you been at how much it's kind of just morphed into a monster?
Yeah, it's been incredible. Obviously when we first started doing it, we're hoping and we're praying that it's going to be big, it's going to be successful. But I think the size of it, the influence we have, it's been absolutely incredible, and it's been a fantastic journey. And I don't know, I just feel like we're not even reached half of our potential yet. That's how I feel sometimes. So, we just want to keep it going. We just want to keep that momentum going.
And explain on football, because a lot of people to start this lockdown. First of all, I want to say big up because you, alongside United Stand, in a Man United fan channel, linked up about 2-3 weeks ago to do a 24-hour live stream marathon to raise money for the NHS. So first of all, big up for that. How much did you raise, and what was the inspiration behind wanted to do your bit to help the NHS?
Yeah, we raised over £20,000.
Wicked.
So it was incredible, and literally, the inspiration was just like there was another YouTuber who does sort of like fashion and that, and she was doing an event where she was going to do something on the previous weekend, where she was just going to, and she was encouraging channels to do a video and donate whatever you earn off that video to the NHS. And I saw it and I was like, hold on a minute, why don't we do our own thing? And then I rang up Mark from United Stand, Mark Goldbridge, and I said, Mark, I go, why don't we team up together, get a lot of other football influencers together and do something to raise money for the NHS. We could do a 24-hour stream. Some of it can be on our channel, some of it can be on your channel. We just keep going from channel to channel. And he said, yeah, sounds like a great idea. And literally within about 2 days, we got it all organised, and we linked up with Isabella, who's brilliant from YouTube, and we linked up with her, and literally in a couple of days we got it on the road. And I checked everybody I knew. You came on, you done a brilliant bit as well. And literally we just said to people, just donate, whatever you've got, donate. And it was a fantastic response. And yeah, we raised over 20 grand. So it was fantastic. It really was. Really, was proud of what we did, because we literally pulled it around and put that together in a couple of days.
Yeah.
So it was, and it showed that we can, even though we're rivals, we can cooperate to do something really, really positive like that. Because I just felt I really wanted to do something for the NHS. The people in the NHS, because these people, I don't think people really even appreciate how hard and what they, I know we all go out and we clap and stuff like that, which is great, but they really are putting their life on the line.
Yeah, they are.
Week in, week out.
Literally, yeah.
So, so I just wanted to do something for them, and it was great.
Wicked. No, well done. I think my guy sent a request to you, so I'm going to fill for another few seconds. He sent you a link. Is it on? Is it on? Okay.
I can see my face on it.
Okay. Robbie, a lot of people were kind of criticising in the early weeks of the lockdown when, a lot of football fans were calling for football to return, saying, boy, how can you chat about football when we've got a pandemic going on right about now? But explain to people who maybe aren't massive football fans, how much football means to you, first of all, but why you think it's so important that football returns just generally for society.
Yeah, well, what I'd say is that, remember, Arsenal was the first club really affected by this, because Mikel Arteta,
that's right,
is like the most high-profile person to get it in football, and then that was what led to the whole Premier League being shut down. So I was all for it being shut down at first, and I don't think it should return if it's not safe. However, if it is safe, or safe as it can be at the moment, there's no fully safe, I don't think. I think it would be great to come back, because, at the moment it is depressing with no sport at all. So getting football back, if you see football playing, and it is, no matter what everybody thinks is the number one sport in this country, seeing football being played, even though it's behind closed doors, you kind of see that and think, well, we're starting to move towards getting things back to normal. You know what I mean? So I think it would be a great thing for it to come back, because it will help to boost the morale a bit. But it does have to be at the right time. It does have to be safe. I wouldn't want them to bring it back and things ain't safe. But certainly I have no problem with the authorities trying to get it back on, because if they don't, we can see football clubs go out of business. They're losing a lot of, all these football clubs are losing millions and millions every week. And I know everybody thinks that all the owners are billionaires and they've all got loads of money, and which some of them do, but there's many other clubs that don't. And if they don't start getting some football back soon, when it is safe, we can see clubs out of business, and the first people to lose their jobs will not be the owners of the club. It's going to be the ordinary guy in the club shop, etc. So I'd love to see it come back, but it has to be under safe conditions. I know the Bundesliga is coming back this weekend. I saw today that the Italian league is coming back as well in June. So it's not just this country. A lot of other countries are making moves to try and get back to playing football.
See, the reason why I think it feels a little bit too early, because I don't trust the government, and we've seen how they've dealt. And this is not just an anti-Tory thing, because it's not even necessarily that. It's more just a case of they've shown themselves to be so inadequately prepared, and they've bumbled their way through this whole 2 months. Them saying there's a meeting tomorrow between the Premier League and the government. Them saying that we think it's safe to come back and play football again. I don't know if it's a feeling or if there's scientific facts to back it up, but it just doesn't feel like now is the right time to be playing football. Maybe another month or two. the numbers, although we've reached the peak, it just still feels for me like, you know what, I'm not quite sure if the numbers are quite there yet. And I just say, why not wait another month? Do you know what I mean?
I hear you on not trusting the government, because I think they have messed up a lot of things. I think at first we were all right behind the government. You sort of get at first everybody's just like, listen, let's rally round the flag, kind of that sort of feeling inside of you. But there's been a lot of mistakes made. There's way too many people have died in this country from, for a country of as advanced as this country, way too many people have died. And I think some of those people have died. I think it will all come out in the end. But where's the PPE? Where's the testing? It's been inadequate. But who can we trust? I mean, if the government and the health people are saying they feel it's safe, then I think it should come back. If guys that are working on a building site, they've got to go back to work. If people in an office have got to go back to work and various other people, why shouldn't footballers go back to work? The government came out the other day and they said, if you can't work from home, you should go back to work. Well, a footballer can't work from home, can they?
No, true that.
But you are right. We are trusting the government, and their judgment on a few things so far has been shaky.
Yeah.
Because we've had the most deaths in Europe. So, but we can only trust them. They're surrounded by the experts. We can only go by what they tell us.
Yeah.
At this moment in time. Let's hope they're right.
So sorry, Rob. You've got to accept. Our YouTube people are going crazy. They want to hear from you, man. You've got to accept something on your thing because they're giving me that. We want to hear from Rob. Where's Robbie?
What have I got to accept? I put the password.
I don't know. My guy's saying you got to accept something.
Hold on, let me.
All right. Any questions for Robbie, or just regarding anybody's thoughts on whether football and sport should be coming back this weekend, next month? Let us know, because it just feels like it's an economical thing. It's an economics thing. Say that again.
You've got another code now. That's why.
Is there a next code? So yes, anyone who's got any thoughts on when sports should return? Is the time right now? Do you believe that it would give the nation a nice distraction, a nice morale boost, or does it still feel a little bit too early? Let us know, man, in the comments, because boy, Robbie thinks now is if the scientists say now is the time, then bring it back in it. But I'm still a bit skeptical about whether the government want to bring it back for all the right reasons. Big up Willie Aubameyang. Say I turn famous now, Robbie. Man's
Big up William. Sign the thing. No, I ain't gonna get into that.
No.
I got you.
All right. Okay, so yeah, my guy's saying we're good. All right, so one of the positives of not having any football is the fact that there's a big issue. We talk about this often. The level of racism has been coming out for the last couple of years, in particular. That's not been a subject in the 2 months because there's been no football. But what would you like the authorities to be doing? I know they've got a lot on their plate to get football back, full stop. But what would you like them to be doing in this time to be addressing the issue of racism within football, to ensure that when football does come back, we don't have a similar 18 months to what we've just had previously?
Well, I saw the stuff with Ian Wright yesterday, and it's horrific.
Yeah,
Ian Wright, that's Ian Wright, just getting that sort of stick with a guy saying I'll cough on you and calling him a monkey and stuff. Yeah. I did a stream like an Instagram live this morning for this channel called RT. There's people in that racially abusing me. It happens all the time, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, it still goes on. And I don't know, man. Until we treat this seriously, it will keep existing. I think I heard that they arrested the guy, or the police are investigating the guy that abused Ian Wright, and I'm so glad. I sent a message to Wright and I said, well done for calling these people out, because we have to do it. But with regards to football, we can get rid of racism in football. The authorities can get rid of it, but they've got to start treating it seriously.
Totally.
It has to be treated seriously. If you don't treat it seriously, it will never go away. It will never ever go away. But if you treat it seriously, and I have to question sometimes whether the authorities really do treat it as seriously as it should do. Because, for instance, the guy, it was the goalkeeper at Leeds.
Yes.
Who got done for calling the player at Charlton, he called him the N-word.
Yeah.
Proven. He called him the N-word. Yeah?
Didn't he plead guilty?
Yeah. He tried to say that he didn't realise what he was saying or something like that. I mean, anybody in this world who don't know what the N-word means and the connotations of it, I don't know what planet they're on. He knew what he was saying, right? I think he got an 8-game ban. How is that treating it seriously? He should be gone. He should be gone. If anybody who's watching the stream right now, go into your workplace tomorrow, wherever you work, and go and say the N-word, and you're out. You're out. You're sacked immediately. Why is it in football you only get banned for 8 games? What's the difference? Why is it everybody, me, you, everybody else, if I racially abuse somebody, if you're banned, you're gone.
Yeah.
Why is it in football? I don't want to hear about contracts, because you can have somebody who works at BBC, you've had people who've worked at TV stations, you've had actors who are on big contracts who've done stuff like this and they've been sacked. So why is it different in football? And that's when I look at things like that and I'm like, authorities are not serious.
Yeah,
talk
for real.
Put on this T-shirt. Yeah, we're going to read out this slogan before the game starts. We don't want racism. It's words. I want action, right? When we all got to work together on this, and we shouldn't even be talking about this in 2020. The enemy should be coronavirus, not racism. So
I hear that.
Honestly, and then when I see some of these social media companies as well, I think they need to do more, because you'll have people they racially abuse you and nothing happens to them. Why? How is it they get to come back with another name? They should be. There's ways of when somebody does that. There's ways of blocking. I forgot the word for it, but you can block somebody's whole IP address.
Yeah.
So that's what should be done. And I don't care if other people in the house will use it. Then they've got to work it out with that person who caused that.
Well, there's a election happening for the PFA, who represent the players in this country, to become a new CEO for the PFA, and hopefully when that new person is announced, that person will make dealing with racism one of the main priorities in his or her manifesto, because you're right, it needs to be done. Big up.
As long as I hope they have the backing.
Yeah, true that.
I hope they have the
as well.
backing, because and there's a lot. Listen, there's still issues, and we hate talking about it because when you talk about it, people accuse you sometimes of playing the race card and this and that.
Robbie. I don't hear that no more. I don't care when people are saying that. I'm like, I don't care. Business.
I don't care. But I had the other day when I did that documentary. Before the documentary even come out, I had people, look at him playing the race card. Well, they hadn't even seen it yet. I was like, listen, I don't care what they say, right? This message is an important message and it needs to be heard. And it went down very well received. And I think the vast majority, 90% of fans or more who go to football are disgusted by people like that. They don't want them in the game no more. We've had enough of them. So let's just get them. Let's just get them out, man. We, as I said, we don't want to be even talking about these things. The last people who want to be talking about these things are black people, are Jewish people, they don't want to talk about it. They want to just go to football and watch a game of football, and that's it. Let's talk about what happened on the pitch. How are we still talking about colour when every single football team's got black players? It's ridiculous.
It's a madness. Shout out JD Dyer. He's been active in the comments here. Shout out Skillachi17. Big up Remy. Says he watched a documentary. Mohammed, no racism required. Yeah, I'm all with that. Right. So, Robbie, now I know two of your brothers to widen it beyond football. And I know one of your brothers, Laurie's a big boxing fan. I know Stephen's a big cricket fan. So it's obviously a big sports family, full stop.
Yeah.
How is the wider family handling at the moment? You know, there's no sport, just beyond football. There's no sport.
I'm also a big sporting fan. I love cricket. My dad brought us up on cricket, you know, in the West Indies and stuff like that. So I love cricket. I love it, all sports, man. That's all. Literally, when I'm at home most of the time, that's all I watch.
Yeah.
So it's been hard, man. Yeah, I mean, because like there's not even anything, you know, there's no Formula One to watch. There's nothing, you know. So it's been really tough without any sport, and that's why I think it would be good for the morale to bring back sport when the time is right. You know, what I mean, when it's safe. But I think it would be a good thing to start. Although it's going to be weird behind closed doors as well, because what makes sport so great is the fans.
Yeah, for real. And what is it about? I mean, sport is global and every community loves sport, but in our community in particular, why do you think black families love sport so much? What is it about sport that causes so many arguments and divisions and so much energy and atmosphere? What is it about our community, Robbie, that we love so much sport?
I don't know, we're good at it.
That helps.
I don't know. I think it is that thing with football and all sports, cricket, everything, is that you know what I love about sport? It's spontaneous, isn't it? You sit down to watch it, you don't know who's going to win yet, and there's always talking points in all sports. You know, so that's what makes it so great. You know what I mean? And you know us as a community, we love to discuss things and go back and forth. So sport is the perfect thing. It's the perfect thing. You know what I mean? You know, I'll tell you, I've argued it for hours with my brother and all my other brothers. We're always arguing about sports, man. You know what I mean? Back and forth. When my mum was alive, right, I remember we was growing up, and it'd be like my dad, and I've got three brothers, and we'd always be going back and forth, arguing about football, about cricket, about boxing, everything. And sometimes she'd just come in the room and she goes, "You can't talk about nothing else. You can't discuss nothing else apart from this." It's so funny, man. But we got it from our dad, because our dad was just like, he's sports mad.
Yeah.
That's all he watched on TV, really. Sports. He watched the news, a documentary of sports. That's it. Yeah. And a Jamaican dad's like, he ain't turning the TV over.
No way. No way.
There wasn't no iPad and them thing there, right? When he turned it on the cricket, y'all watch cricket, or you go to your bed. That's it. Right. There's no choice. Right. So you just got into it, man. And I love sports. I really do. I love it. You know what I really love doing? Going to sporting events. When you go there live, I love that the most. You know.
Well, this was of course Olympic year as well.
Exactly. You know, I'd have to have gone to that in Japan. That'd have been brilliant.
I was going, Reginald. I'm vexed.
Yeah, because you'd have been with Channel 4. You'd have been. Oh man, I've never been to Japan, man. I'd love to go there. I really would love to go there. And I was looking at. I was thinking to myself, let me see if I can work, because obviously Arsenal in the summer they do their tour. So I was like, I wonder how. Let me see where Arsenal are going to go, to see what I can work out, to see, you know, because I was going to try and see if I can maybe wrangle it to go to Japan. But even that now, what happens to that next year?
Well, they're talking about is definitely happening next year. But right about now,
will anybody be able to go there? Will any fans be able to go there?
I'm not even sure how they can even say it's definitely happening. How can anyone put any date on anything? All this, it's happening in the Euros next summer now. Remember the Euros this summer as well. I don't understand how anybody can put a date on anything.
You know what, right? Some of those countries, though, they're dealing with it better than us. So I was chatting to a friend the other day in Hong Kong. He's saying to me things are more or less back to normal over there. He goes,
the country's problem is the people that come everywhere else.
Yeah, that's right. Traveling there. Yeah, traveling there. But you know, I think they've got a lot of those places have got a system, rigorous system of testing. My friend was saying to me that every building you go into, they're taking your temperature. Everybody's wearing masks. They're handling it. They're handling it a lot different to how we're handling it over here. So
no, they're doing their thing. They're doing their thing, man. Robbie should be the next Arsenal coach. Never has there been another passion. Never has there been another passionate gunner. What are you saying, Rob? You got a good job.
You know what, right? You got to respect coaches and managers. It's a pressurized job, right? A pressurized job, man. So I'm not too sure if I can handle that job, man. You know what I mean? You know, it's a tough job managing. We were discussing Mikel Arteta earlier and saying that, you know, how long. I think he's doing a great job at the moment, and I think the fans have been pleased with him so far. But how long will he truly get? You know, that's the thing. Before fans lose their patience, we've got to be patient with him. But there's not a lot of patience in football at the moment. It's not one of them games where people are patient anymore. You know.
For real. So what? I mean, I've been seeing some of your clips as well. I see you cooking. What you been cooking up recently during this lockdown? You've been getting your chef on.
Yeah. I did a couple of pasta bake and that, and I've got one I'm gonna do. I might do it this week. I'm gonna do some ackee and saltfish. Yeah, man.
I don't like ackee, though.
Ackee?
No, I've never liked ackee.
Growing up, I didn't like ackee. I remember my mum when she used to cook ackee sometimes.
Yeah.
When you came in, like you come in and you see it, you're like, no, man. Yeah. We go to our mum, we go, Mum, ackee. And she goes, you know how much money that costs? You know, because it's expensive. You know, ackee, right? Ackee's expensive, right? Even now it's expensive. In them days, it was even more, which is rare to get. You know how much money we pay for that ackee there? Yeah. If you know, eat that. And it's, I always say to my kids, right, I go, you guys are lucky. Because they'll be like, oh, I don't like that. And I don't like this. And I'll have to, can you cook me something else? I go, yo, we just had, that was the ackee. You don't want to eat it. Don't eat it. You're a bit hungry. Done. Yeah? You don't eat that ackee, right? Or you don't eat that dinner that's in front of you. Go to the cupboard and try and take out a biscuit or something like that and see what I get. Nah. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I might do. Ackee's all right. I like it. As I said, when I was growing up, I didn't really like ackee.
You know what it is?
It's an acquired taste, but as I've got older, man, I love it.
You know what it is? It's the texture. And to make it taste nice, you've got to really season it really well. Because if you don't season it proper, it just tastes like...
But it's the saltfish that you put with it and everything else that brings out the taste of it.
So there'll be people watching, Rob, that don't know what ackee is. Explain to our viewers here what ackee is.
Ackee is like it grows on a tree, right? And actually, an ackee, because my cousin in Jamaica used to have an ackee tree in the back garden, right? And ackee, if you pick ackee before it's ripe, I think it's poisonous.
Yeah, that's true.
It's true. Yeah, but it's like it's sort of, they sort of describe it like it looks like an egg type. Yeah. It's a funny thing to describe. It's yellow. It's a national dish of Jamaica. But it's a fruit, really, isn't it? It's a fruit. It's an acquired taste, but it's nice, man. I like it, man. You know, the funny thing is that you know, I'm going to say it because then it means that I have to stick to this now, right? By saying it. I did a show earlier for some guys called Food Tribe, and I said it on that. Now I'm going to say it on Blakademik, because now when I say it now, you know, sometimes I'm being held to account now, yeah? Right. I decided a couple of days ago that I'm going to start, I really want to do a plant-based diet.
Oh, hang on a minute. Remember I come on your show about 6 months ago. We had that big argument.
I know.
You all gang up on me. You all want to gang up on me.
My brother last week. My brother, right? Last week, my brother right? We got like a little WhatsApp group with me and my 3 brothers. My brother put in the WhatsApp group. He goes, just to let you guys know, right, that I'm switching to a plant-based diet. We were all cussing him, man.
Which one? Which one?
Sorry.
Okay.
I was going like, what? It's on Bellery now. Yeah, vegan now. He goes, no, I'm not vegan, but I've turned to. And then, really weird, right? I was reading a book. Because I've been thinking, like, a lot. Nowadays, I try to eat less meat than what I normally eat. Yeah. And then I was reading this book, man, the other day. I was like, geez, the book's all about health. It's a health book, right? And I'm like, I'm trying to improve my health. And it's all about plant-based diet, how it improves your health. Plant-based this. And I said, I'm going to give this. I know. And
you all about telling you, cussing me. Which part? I'm like, listen. My point was wrong. My point was then, I wasn't even saying going to vegan. I was just saying, as a community, as black people, we eat the whole place full up dumpling, sweet banana, yam, chicken, rice, everything. All I was saying was we need to reduce. I'm reducing my meat intake.
That's exactly how I'm doing. I'm not stopping eating meat. My aim to start off with is to eat meat no more than twice a week. Once or twice a week. But for the rest of the week, I'm eating plant-based. I even went to the shops, right? I went to the shops earlier and I bought beer. I can't even put it in the fridge. Spinach, kale, this, that. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm going to give this a try and see how it goes, man. I'm like...
You know how to do it? I've been doing this for now 5 years. The way to do it, to minimize your meat intake, I've got a rule. I can't have meat at home. So no meat in the house. So if you go out for dinner or you go to your brethren's house or a family member's house, meat's a treat. But if you have a rule that in your head, no meat in the house. So you can eat meat if you're out. Anytime you're out, you can eat meat. But if you think, when do you have most of your meals?
You know what? You see me, I'm quite a disciplined guy, So if meat's there, if I've decided I ain't eating it, I ain't eating it. I'm not bad that way. And even at the moment, I'd say I'm over the past, especially since this coronavirus and stuff's been going on, I haven't eaten a lot of meat. I've, 1 or 2 occasions, I've been eating more fish. Yeah. But even that, I'm going to eat less of.
Yeah, good.
So I'm going to try. I'm going to give this a try. I'm going to be held to account now because I've said it. I don't. Listen, I can't do the vegan thing and stuff like that. I can't go one on, but I definitely want to do more plant-based eating and see how I get on. Health is wealth, isn't it?
Let me online. We put it on record here. It's going to go up as well. Now is going to minimize his meat intake. Not quite vegan.
He's right. I was cussing him. The first thing I thought of, right, is like, I remember, was you when we went to that YouTube event? Was you there? We started something this event, and this girl was on the table, and she was talking about vegan this and vegan that. And I don't know if you was at it might have been someone else. We was at this event that YouTube did. Right, and then afterwards they had like this little after party thing, and they had a meal for everybody. And I sat on a table. There's about 5 of us, and there was this girl. She was talking about how she's a vegan and this and that. And then I forget exactly how it went, but like some food came, and I see her eating like a chicken wing or something. I was like, yeah, I'm a vegan. What are you doing with that, man? I had a go at her, right? I was taking them. You know me already. I was taking the piss. Yeah. The girl stormed out. She didn't talk to me or nothing. She was vexed.
Really?
Yeah, really pissed off with me. And I'm like, all these people that I've been slating, right, over this time for But now, after I read that book, man, I was like, hey, man.
I think it's the way to go.
I like saying there's a lot of things that you can naturally heal your body by eating a more plant-based diet. And I'm like, yeah, I've been thinking about it for a while. My brother last week, when he said that, I'm like, this is all pointing towards me. Yeah, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
When those sort of signs come in front of me, man, I'll follow.
Yeah, good. I'm shocked, but I'm happy. So, just a couple more, and I'll let you go, man. as we kind of come back out of this, the back end, whenever it is, of this lockdown, I'm asking all my guests what they would like the society to really reflect on and improve on. Now, your world is online, it's YouTube, that's where your platform, that's where your work is. Online is obviously a massive issue in terms of bullying and people killing themselves, and a platform, you mentioned it earlier on, for people to abuse each other. What would you like to see as someone who's heavily influential on social media, people to do and change how they treat social media and online platforms? You know, how can we be better at how we manipulate and use online platforms like these?
Well, I mean, you know what? In general, I look at this coronavirus thing, and I think I look on it, and the amount of people that have died and it's so bad. But also, I'm always the guy who's trying to take positives. So I'm like, what are the positives that have come out of it? We've been forced to stay at home and interact with our family more and stuff like that. So we need to continue on that. We've been forced to be more healthier. The only time you can go out, right, is to go and exercise. So because you want to go out and exercise, you've been doing a lot more exercising and that. So I want to continue that on. And people have been forced to be nice to people.
Yeah.
We've been coming out and clapping NHS, and there's been a lot of generosity. And the problem with the world sometimes is that we're only like that at times like these. And then as soon as things start to change, we just change again and we go back to how we were. So I'm hoping that people start to be a bit more considerate towards each other after this. And that includes on social media. If you don't agree with somebody's opinion, don't jump on there and start, abusing them. Racially abusing is completely out of the question, but just sometimes just general abuse. You can have a pop at someone, you can disagree with someone strongly, you can banter somebody. It doesn't have to come down to you then racially abusing them and stuff like this, So I'm hoping that can change. Social media has been our savior in a way through this whole crisis, because we can still communicate.
Yeah.
So you're stuck at home, but you can still communicate. I can still talk to you right now. People can still Zoom call each other and talk to your friends. So had there not have been any, so when people say social media is a bad thing, it's not. It's a good thing. Had there not been for social media, what would we have done for the past 7-8 weeks just stuck at home? It would have been horrible. It would have been awful. But this has helped us to communicate with people, to really get out there. So social media is something that is really good. It's a tiny minority that spoil it. As usual, there's always a tiny minority that spoil it. But we need to isolate those people. And when they do them, racially abusing, just have them off. If you can't, deal with this thing responsibly, don't be on it. Have them off the whole platform. That's what I say. But I hope we see a change like that, because it's been a wake-up call, I think, for the world, man. Yeah, as I look at the world and I think, at the moment, especially before this coronavirus crisis, and even now, you look at it, all around the world, everybody nowadays just seems to be for themselves. Government leaders of governments talk to their base. They don't talk to they're supposed to be in charge of the country. But they don't, you know what I mean? Whether it be here in this country, whether it be America, whether it, all over the world, leaders now seem to get into power, and all they're interested in is the people that help to get them into power, nobody else. They just work out a little equation and they say, right, if I can please those people, I don't give a toss about the rest. Countries don't want to work with each other, you know what I mean? I can do it on my own. What this virus has shown is that we all need each other.
Yeah,
because there is no way we are going to defeat this virus on our own. If tomorrow we sort out rid this country of coronavirus, that's no good if the rest of the world's got it. We're going to have to then go to the rest of the world and show them how we did it and help them to because the whole world needs to be rid of it. I saw today where they're saying that they basically this year, no holidays abroad. So that just shows you there's no point in ridding it just here. because you won't be able to go abroad now. The cooperation is going to be needed to rid the coronavirus all around the world. So we've got to start cooperating with people, man. Nowadays, everybody's just for themselves. That has to change. And this is what this thing, I think this thing's woken us up. Well, whether we'll take those messages or not, you know what, we got a tendency when everything's all right now. But wow.
Well, no, but we were saying just this week that people like me and you, but we're not just talking the talk. We're gonna, when the lockdown's lifted and life resumes, we're gonna implement a lot of these things we've been talking about. So being nicer, looking after our health, checking in on the people that we care and love more so, getting a better work-life balance. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I think some people will fall back into their bad habits, but I think a lot of people like us, I'm sure we've seen now this is the way to be, and it's forced us to learn these lessons. Do you know what I mean? Let me just wrap a last couple before I get locked off from Instagram here. On football, first of all, Tottenham Champions League final last year. Where were you, and how sweaty were you?
I was at home, right, and nervous, very nervous, because if they would have won that, what would we have done as an Arsenal fan? I would have had to disappear, man. Trust me. But it was brilliant. When my neighbour's a Tottenham fan, man. I'll tell you, I could see them. They were vexed. I was laughing, man. I was like, yeah. But I was a worried man, because I was like, what are we going to tell these men if they win that? We've never won that. If they win this, that's it. It's over. Yeah. So, you know, I'm eternally grateful to Liverpool for that, because I'm telling you, I couldn't have coped, man.
It'd have been unbearable. And
they both, they ain't even won nothing, and they both. Imagine if they won that.
And just finally, a lot of the people here on messaging, they want to just get your general thoughts on, well, many things Arsenal related, but just generally, when the season does resume, we mentioned earlier on Mikel Arteta, the new-ish manager in place. What's the future for Arsenal looking like? Do you have faith that in 2-3 years there's a plan in place to ensure Arsenal are competitive again, or do you think there's still deep-rooted issues that are going to prevent us from really being a top team again?
I think I really hope they back Mikel Arteta. He's going to need to. I like the signs of what I see. He's a guy that's come in. He's first of all getting the best out of the players that he's got there. He's trying to change the mentality and philosophy at the club, which has been, let's have it right, the mentality of Arsenal over about the last, certainly the last 5 to 10 years has been comfortable. You've got too many players at that club. They're far too comfortable, right? We've got very talented players, but they haven't had that winning mentality where they're like, yo, we're Arsenal, we're going at it. Mikel Arteta's coming in and saying, we're Arsenal, and we are a big club, and we owe it to our fans to try and get back to the top. And I like all the things that he's said and done so far, but it's going to take time. You know, a lot of the players that he's got don't suit what he wants to do. And it's going to take time. Players' contracts will have to run down for them to leave and stuff like that. So I think we're going to have to stick with the process. I do think that the guys who are doing the recruitment have improved a lot. They've signed some good players in Martinelli. I think Pepe will come good, but we're going to have to be patient. We're not there yet. We need to keep Aubameyang. So Willie, if you're watching, Tim, because he's a world-class. Aubameyang is a world-class player, and not only is a world-class player, I think there's a connection between him and the fans. You know, the fans love him, and I think it would send a really bad message if we again lose our best player. We've done that too many times over the years. You know, got to keep hold of Aubameyang and hold on to our young players and back the process. You know what I mean? I think, you know, it will be bumpy because, you know, the problem with Arsenal is that we all remember that when we were the best team in the country, and we're just far from that at the moment. So, but it's a process to get back there. I was interested earlier on, I was doing a show and I had a guy and he's a Liverpool fan, and he was talking about how when Klopp came in, how long it took him to start rebuilding that team, to move certain players out. It's the same for Arteta, but I like him, man. I think he's going to be a top manager. I really do. I don't know how this coronavirus thing is going to affect his plans that he would have had for this summer, because obviously club ain't going to be spending the money really. So, but I'm backing him.
Just briefly, Rob. Even if football does return, there's no guarantee that anytime soon fans are going to be allowed in the grounds. So as you go to all the games, home and away, how is that going to affect your crew? You know, DT and Troops and Curtis, all the man them. You know, it's going to be, and just football fans in general. How
you're watching it from home. That's how it's going to affect us. Simple as that. You know, just like everybody else, you have to watch it from home. You know what I mean? You can't. I was chatting to this company this morning, and they were saying, "Well, will you still go out the ground and do your?" I said, "No, I couldn't, because if it's behind closed doors, if we went down the ground and started, that would be very irresponsible, because then people would be coming. People will be coming there to come and do. We can't do that. So we've got a couple of ideas of how we're going to approach it. When it returns back behind closed doors, but yeah, I mean, I honestly, man, sometimes I have to pinch myself and just think, what is going on right now? It's just so weird, you know, that no fans, because football, we all want it to come back and even behind closed doors at this moment in time. But let's be real, no fans at sports. Fans make sports. Fans make the sports. There's only a couple of sports that could. I mean, you could play snooker behind closed doors because it's quiet, but football needs the fans, right? And I think the football clubs now are realizing how important football fans are. They've neglected them over the years. You know, the TV companies are realizing how important. They've neglected them. Just fling a match on a Monday night away at Newcastle. Oh, how are the fans going to get there? They're like, oh, we'll get there how they get there, innit? We've got the game on. Now they're realising, without us, the game is not the same spectacle. Yeah. So I just hope and pray, you know, I mean, I as I said, I'm trying to stay optimistic about the whole thing and just think that, you know, I just can't see us being at this stage, you know, by the time we get to next year. I just think things would have improved. I don't know how. I'm not a doctor or nothing, but I just think that we will make progress. We will, if everybody's coming together, we will, you know, and we're going to have to learn in the interim right now until we get a cure. We have to learn how to live with this thing. We can't just stay inside forever. We have to learn, we have to emerge and learn how to a new way of living. But they've got to try and get fans somehow back into games when things are safe, you know, because I don't know, maybe I was thinking the other day, maybe the next stage after behind closed doors, and if cases drop right down, the next stage might be you have, instead of 60,000 fans in the ground, 20,000 socially distanced away. Because when you think about it, you know, if they're socially distanced, until gradually you get more and more in, maybe that's the way. And as everybody comes to the ground, you take their temperature, or you have to have a certificate to say you've been tested, or I don't know. They're going to have to come up with some. We can do it like now just to get the season finished and that, but sport, you're not going to be able to exist forever if there's no fans. Too many clubs are going to go bust.
Listen, right, I've got to wrap, but thank you very much for coming on Blakademik Online. I really appreciate your time, man. I want to say a big up to yourself, Mark Goldbridge, once again, DT, Troops, Ransom Bants, Flex for raising the 20 grand you did on your marathon. That was level. So big up for that. Congratulations, well done on that. I played a small part, Richard. My part was small. You guys put in the hours, 24 hours.
As Tesco say, every little helps. Or as the Jamaican Tesco say, every mickle make a muckle. You know what I mean?
Listen, thank you very much, guys, for checking us out on our YouTube stream and our Instagram as well. We've got some more great guys coming on, and girls, over the next couple of weeks to do some more Blakademik online chats as well. Go and check out Robbie's channel at AFTV if you haven't already. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Please stay safe. Please stay well. Robbie, enough love.
Take care, bro.
Big up.